is an ADC chieftain to help us understand why the ADC believes it is one of those political parties that has been targeted by the APC administration. Doctor, it's good to see you again. Thank you so much for stopping by this evening.
Thank you very much for having me.
Right. Now, Nigerians obviously feel a certain way when it comes to political narrative because they believe that politicians would say anything to get a desired outcome by making people believe certain things. Some of the things the ADC has been saying recently regarding the alleged military coup, for instance, is that not adding fuel to the fire, because the defense headquarters has been very clear about what is actually going on the inside. And the federal government has doubled down to say, listen, there is no cause for alarm. There is no need for Nigerians to worry about a military takeover. What is happening is an internal look at certain violations that the military is handling already. Why is the ADC adding fuel to this fire?
Thank you very much for having me. Every Nigerian is aware the story of the alleged coup broke out on Saturday. It wasn't a statement by ADC per se. It was a story that was widely covered by a lot of the media outlets. And before we all know anything, details were just flying everywhere. And the story kept on evolving over the next 24 to 48 hours. And then more details started coming. So as Democrats that we are in the African Democratic Congress, naturally we should be worried that such tendencies are coming up at this stage of our national life, of our democratic life as a country. So we didn't just start singing the narrative about a coup. We picked the lines as it was widely reported, and as concerned players and stakeholders in the democratic process, we should naturally be concerned that such a development is coming up at this stage in our democratic process. So the party is doing what it ought to do by reacting to such developments. Of course, as a political party and maybe one of the likely victims if there were to be a coup in the country, we have every reason to react to stories of possible allegations of military officers wanting to topple the government. So I think our reactions are rightly justified for this reason.
Yeah, but some have questioned the motivation of the ADC when it comes to your commentary about this perceived attempted military coup. I mean, you don't know all the facts, but you seem to hold a very strong position about it, just going by media reports.
Yes. So we know that there is no smoke without fire. We know that going by what George Owens wrote in his book in 1984, that official denial is necessarily a confirmation. And so...
Not in all cases, you would agree.
Yes, but under this circumstance, the way the story evolved and the names that were coming up, the circumstance, the fact that certain things happened prior, you know, there were events that were supposed to have taken place, like the parade on the Independence Day on the 1st of October, that was cancelled and no reason was given. And now that we are getting the story coming to say this is why it was cancelled. So it's easy for you to see how this story has evolved over this period, as it were. And of course, for whatsoever reason, you will expect that the government, out of maybe embarrassment or fear or security concerns or whatsoever it is, will try to manage the story, as it were. But we are concerned because of the fact that it's clear that this coup is being linked to people whose names have not been mentioned and who are also of the political class. For instance, there are stories that part of the people involved are a former governor and maybe a serving governor. We want every fact about this case to be made very clear. When the facts are not clear, when certain stories are kept secret and too confidential in that sense, then if anybody wants to use it for mischief reasons, to want to clamp down on perceived enemies or people who are in opposition, then they are preparing the grounds for that.
Yeah, but where is that concern coming from, Doctor? Because from last week to this particular week, the ADC's concerns have not been based on any real evidence, especially when you talk about a possible political witch hunt. Has anybody been politically witch hunted over this particular issue?
No, we're looking at the precedents. We're looking at what has been happening since the unveiling of this party. We've been at the receiving end of this political violence that has been happening over time now for the last couple of months. Our party members have been attacked in Abuja. Party members have been attacked in Kaduna. It has happened in Kebbi, and just a few days back, the Ekiti episode happened. So we are an endangered species when it comes to.
You'll go as far as describing it as such?
Yeah, because
endangered species?
Yes, I am a naturalist. I know what I'm talking about. Right. When you're constantly on the threat, then you are endangered. It means that if nothing is done and no measures are taking place, and we continue receiving these attacks, we definitely will suffer huge and great consequences at that. We need to be given those assurances that whatsoever people that are behind those attacks don't use the opportunity of this alleged coup to want to have more reasons to continue attacking our party, because there seems to be a trend over the last couple of months, and it's not restricted to maybe a particular region or individual or candidates, or which we don't even have at the moment. But it seems as if anywhere we want to exercise our freedom in a democratic setting, to gather or to have our meetings or rallies or flag-offs or unveilings, we get attacked. And so this is our fear. Yeah. And they were doing that for no reason. What if they have now created a reason to clamp down on us? So we definitely are afraid. We are.